So let's fix that issue. What is it again? So let's go back here. So notice here I inserted 5 grades, yet the size for all the exams was for 4, to allocate 4 grades in there. So we are out of bound, and you can see here the error that we're getting. Index 4 out of 4 bounds for length 4, so we're beyond that, and this is where you're getting this. So what can we do? Well, there are a few things we can do here. We could actually put all of this under an if statement. For example, if counter, and as long as counter is less than grades dot length. As long as that's true, let's put curly brace here, and then we can actually go ahead and do these 2 statements. Let me just move it here so we could do that. All right, so let's see what impact will that have on our main code. So let's go back here and let's run this again. So I have to wait a little bit. Notice we no longer get an error. However, what's going on is that this last record, this last grade, was not put in, which is fine. So at least we were able to put any of this stuff here. Now, could I have instead sent a message and said out of bound, right? So something of that nature, or like something with an else here and a print statement, right? So I prefer not to put print statements in the class as much as possible. How about sending back maybe a Boolean? That means if something had happened, we added a grade properly, we get back and if a true. If not, we're going to get a false. So maybe something like Boolean here, right? And if it's true and we were able to do this, then return true, else, or we don't even need an else, because if this is false, we will simply return false. There. So now, how do we actually insert these grades? So the paradigm of just inserting it this way is no longer valid. So we're going to have to do something else here, maybe some if statement here, right, as we insert the grade, and make it a little more interactive. So if, for example, if we do this, and if this is true, then maybe you can do something like this: system.out.print grade committed to the database. Right? So this is more like it. Right? So let's see here. Let's put some parentheses here. And let's remove these guys here. And let's see how this will behave. And let it run. And grade committed to the database. So let's spell it a little better, okay? Let's do this 5 times. So copy. We're going to paste this. So how many times? We have 4, which are the legitimate amount of grades we can do. Let's change those grades a little bit. 78. It wouldn't matter what we're putting here. This is just telling us we're actually saving these grades here. 9 if you want. Let's put a 0 here, right? So you will notice that we will get 4 grades committed to the database, except for the last one. So let's go ahead and run it. Okay, let's see here. System.out, I did a print instead of a println, so let me just do a println so we can get new lines right here, right here. So it's not as confusing as far as the output is concerned. Let's do a println here and a println here. All right, let's run it again. And you can see we're not going to run into a runtime issue. So 4 grades were committed. We can actually show the grade if needs be. How can we do that? So we could go back here and maybe say something like this. grade equals. Now, remember, do we have a method to get grade back? So we have get name, but we don't have a get grade. So how can we get the grade back, right? So that depends where the counter is. So we could do that. So this will give us, think of it as a stack. It will give us the last grade that was put in every time. So we could do something like this, public double and get, see here, get grade. And this will return at any given time the last one we did. So this is similar to a stack. So this could be grades counter. Let's see how this will behave. Right, so it will return that grade based on whatever the value of counter is. So let's see what happens here. So let's go back here, and it will be equal to, and let's do a plus. So the object in here is S1 dot, did I say get grades? Get grade, not grades. So let's go back here, dot, get grade right here. There you go. All right, we'll see if we get that. So let me just run it at least once. If we get that grade back. And I'm getting a 0. So let's see what the issue is. Right, so it's showing me a 0 here, which means it's not picking up the grade that we need. And we have grades and counter should have been incremented. We could do this, minus minus, because remember, we've incremented the counter. We need to go back once, right? So here it will be the one offset behind it. All right, so let's see what happens. So let's run it again. So this is why you need to code slowly and look at what kind of issues you're going to run into. And we're still getting this. So let's see what's going on. Did I save this? Yes, I should have. Now, why am I not getting? So let's do grade -1 instead of minus minus. Maybe it's a syntax issue, so let's go ahead and run this again. Yes, it was a syntax issue. It's not a minus minus, it's counter -1, which is the one behind it. Don't do minus minus, that was a mistake. So that's the way to do it. So what are you going to do here? So we're going to copy similar, so we're going to copy and paste right here. Similar code. So this would be S2. We're going to do the same thing here. This would be S3. It's the same one, so it's the same objects, S1. Sorry about that. So we're going to do, if we have another student, obviously that would be the case. So let's go ahead and do comma. And we get to see if we get our grade back. So let's do this again. And obviously the fifth one here, let's do a 100 here so we could see that we're not pointing at an empty thing. So let's go ahead and run it. And the 100 shouldn't appear at all. So let's go ahead and run this. All right, fantastic. So we got from 98 to 9, right? And the 100 just got bypassed. And the reason is because the moment you try to insert 100, you are going over the size of 4 for the grade array, which is an attribute to student, which is this here, grades. Okay? And the way we set it is when we constructed it, we gave it a size of 4. And that's where we can't go beyond that. So our next lesson, we're going to look at the toString. What are the things we can send out to describe what's in that object? Okay, I will see you then.